Hello and welcome back to another out of spec detailing video here at Clear Detailing in Windsor, Colorado. Today we've got a brand new Chattanooga 2023 Volkswagen ID.4. Really excited for this one because this is my car. I bought this thing. So we're going to be doing a full kind of delivery video over on the out of spec reviews page. And on this one, looking at build quality, how the car came in, I asked the dealership not to wash this. So this is a factory fresh 2023 Volkswagen ID.4. As you can see on the driver's side, we still have most of the plastics on here. I wanted this to be one of those vehicles that dealership did not touch one bit. They did take a few pieces off here and there. Obviously this had to go through PDI, getting all the software, all the delivery stuff off of it, but mostly on the inside. If you're gonna come around here, we still have all the plastics in here, which I'm super excited for. This is really the way to take delivery of a vehicle. So we're gonna be removing all of the shipping stuff in here. It did have seat covers on it, but I wanted to take those off just for driving. But you can see everything's still on here. Really, really loving this car so far. But as I've already looked, tons of scratches on the paint. This is how the car was delivered. And again, I asked them, Ed Carroll Motor Company, to deliver it this way. Didn't want it washed, please don't touch it. But this car was actually delivered on freight as per these slips. Really cool to kind of dig deep into all the paperwork that comes with these cars. Want to save all this stuff, super, super neat. But this car in this condition now looks like it was actually gone through by Volkswagen Group of America, an extra quality control. And so far, I've had some time to look around this, pretty darn pleased with the actual fit and finish. Come in here, all the body lines are looking super, super tidy. A few things here and there that I've seen maybe over here on the driver's side fender, a little bit of a body gap compared to maybe up here, but nothing super, super bad. You know, I've had a lot of videos on the out of spec detailing channel talking new car startups, one being Rivian. We have a ton of videos with Rivians, all these new car startups, and how they're actually looking. Surprising how these cars actually are delivered, but a legacy automaker like Volkswagen should have this dialed in, and I think for the most part they do. So I think big plan now, we're gonna get this thing washed down. There should be a ton of iron deposits on this because it was on a train, on a truck. It's filthy right now, so I'm gonna do a full wash on this. I'm gonna do a time lapse though, because we've already had videos on how to wash a new vehicle, and then we're gonna go through a paint inspection, put a paint meter on this, look at the scratches, see how everything's really looking. Before we wash, gotta do the ASMR peel. Oh. So satisfying.
It's going great here, Colton.
Ah. Oh, that one's gonna be fun to get out. There we go.
Okay. And you got this thing.
Door edge protector.
You can honestly just reuse that.
Yeah, just put it on every time you park.
Get out of the car, put it on, and then get out of the car.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, let's wash it.
We've got the ID.4 washed up, looking a lot better now. On this car, I just put a little bit of Geon wet coat because this is actually going to be detailed later on. Thanks to you guys, I've got so many cars through the shop right now and a long waiting list. Unfortunately, my car is not going to skip the line, but for now, it's got a little protection. What I really want to talk about is paint. That's kind of the big premise with this video, is looking how the paint is from a legacy manufacturer. Now this, again, is built in Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is a older assembly line that they have adapted for ID.4, so paint shops should be dialed in for what we believe is Atlas. So I'm curious to check out how it is. Now, this paint I've worked with before. This is pure gray from Volkswagen. It is very soft. There is no metallic in it, so it shows absolutely everything. I also have my paint meter here because I want to see what the consistency throughout the panels looks like. I know on like Rivian behind over here on camera, very all over the place between like 3 8.9 mils and all the way up to, I think, like 8.2 I saw on different panels on this. So really lots of paint in some areas, not a lot of paint on other areas. I think we'll start off using the paint meter, and then we're gonna go through with the scan grip light and see all of the scratches in here. So let's just start on the hood here. I'll bring you in, and let's just start straight in the middle of the hood. 4 mils dead on the nose. Just for your knowledge, around 4 to 6 is pretty common for a car. I like to see them in that range. Don't really like to see it in the low 3s at all. If things have more paint, the better. At the nose there, 427, let's come up here. 478, 421, let's go on the quarter panel here. 389, a little bit lower, but really nice and even throughout this. Very, very happy to see that. Let's go down here on the fender. 392. Again, right around that 4 mark is where I really like to see it. So the fender, very even, a little bit low, but right around that area I like to see. Let's come up here above on the driver's door. 481. Middle of the door, 424. Really, really nice and consistent. 446.
Never seen this much consistency.
Very consistent, and I think that's things that should be considered when you're buying a car is how consistent is your paint. And yeah, this is looking really, really sharp. I've had so much Audis, Porsches, Volkswagens through the shop because I actually got my start with the dealership that I bought this car from, Ed Carroll Motor Company in Fort Collins. And this is really what I see a lot of the time from Audi and Porsche. Now Volkswagen, I've seen some crazy readings. This is looking really, really nice. Let's go back here because this is one of those areas I'm going to start getting into that they've done some work on, and maybe I can just show the light here.
Yep.
Wow. Lots and lots of buffing right there. But let's keep moving around the car. I just want to quickly check this. I'm not going to do every single panel, but want to see if this is looking rather consistent on this side. 467 also huge, almost like a bird poop mark here, I think. We'll have to get that polished out down the road. 440, 418. Honestly, for the cars that I've seen through here lately, we've had all the electric cars. This is the most consistent paint I have ever seen on these cars lately. Very, very pleased with that for my own vehicle. What do you say we start looking at the actual scratches? Now, on the other side, I'm going to start back here and we'll kind of work our way around the car. I'm going to have you flip over on this side, and let's just start at the charge port because this is an area that already has scratches on scratches, fingerprints. You can see how soft that is. All of those tiny imperfections. Down here on this door, we've got some almost like rub marks, wondering if that was when they were transporting the car, you know, somebody walking and brushing up against the car. Now again, another note, this car has not been detailed by Ed Carroll. I specifically asked them to do that so I could see exactly how this looks. Factory fresh from Chattanooga, and yeah, quite a bit of stuff on here. Tail lights, as always, really scratched up. Up in this area, again, we've got that big buffer mark there. They actually got some of the plastic up in here and even on the piano black. In this area, we've got some more etching marks here and there. Lots of scratches on this rear door. Hopefully you can see it right in there. I would say overall, I'm pretty pleased with the thickness of the paint, but lots of defects in here. And I don't know, Kyle behind the camera, I think, is quite surprised looking at this, how consistent it is, and like, whoa, so the dealership didn't touch this, and this is really how it's delivered. Even though it has our VW seal of approval up here going through it and did the double check. Maybe that's part of the issue, is that they're walking through this, double checking some things and actually causing a little bit of damage. Let me show you here on the door handle. This is going to be pretty common, but right above there, lots of marks in there, lots of scratches. And this is the question I get every single day. Well, I just bought a new car. Why does it need polish? Perfect example right here. And again, not washed by the dealership. So overall, I think this is looking pretty sharp. I'm actually pretty impressed with the build quality, minus one big thing. And I'm gonna have you hop in the passenger side here, and I'm gonna run over to the driver's side. Now, on the inside of the vehicle, we've got one kind of major issue here with the steering wheel. I wouldn't maybe call it major, but something that's really gonna drive me nuts. So over here, this is all stitched and there's a seam in between here, and that's what the stitching pulls together. Now on this side, we've got this flap kind of hanging out. And I'm noticing when I'm driving this, because I'm holding my thumb right here, I'm just sitting there playing with that, and I know just over time this thing's gonna expand and expand. Hopefully that can get maybe warranted, I would assume, because that looks like a manufacturing defect. Overall though, the interior looks really, really nice and tidy. All the stitching looks pretty good. Very, very happy so far with our ID.4 purchase. After spending a little bit more time looking through this, very, very pleased with the consistency of the paint. I know I'm kind of hammering on this point, but like for a detailer, I couldn't ask for anything more on my personal car. Other cars like Tesla, Rivian, some of the new startups like Lucid that actually had no paint on it, where I couldn't even polish the darn thing. Very glad to see going with a legacy automaker how their paint's actually looking. Now, want to touch on some of the things going on here. That should be a lot of end of the line stuff. So they're checking panel gaps and they go, ooh, there may have been a dust nib here, hit it with a buffer. I'm assuming that's happening at Chattanooga. Some of the other marks maybe down here, like that had some scrapes and scratches, that could be from transport. So these cars getting on and off the trains, getting onto trucks and trailers. I think that's really where those are coming for. But I really wanted to drive that point home that new cars do not come in perfect. And if you do not even have the dealership wash them, scratch them up like that, there's still defects here. Really, really kind of concerning for most, but nothing that I'm too worried about. So this car is going to be probably in the next couple of months, hopefully going through a full paint correction, full polish, and full ceramic coating on the paint, wheels, all the plastic trim. We're gonna have videos on that, how to protect your new car, what I recommend through that whole process. And if you guys are interested in bringing your vehicle in to have me do, definitely get on the list because it is growing. So I hope you guys enjoy this video of out of spec detailing. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.